Any questions so far? Okay, let's build something. So for now we have this Bing. You all have the Bing one, right? Bing search. All right, so let's convert this guy to the actual working test. Okay, so let's just pay attention here for now, and I'll let you guys work through later on. So let me run this one just for now. So right now I don't have anything. I stopped at printing, right? This thing. So what I have is this scenario here. Then my Bing steps looks like something like this. Okay. So I have Bing search.new, right? And then I have given, when, and then like that. All right. And what my Bing search looks like? My Bing search looks something like this. Okay. I have visit Bing page. I'm printing something. I have hooked up all the methods. So how do I hook up the Water WebDriver so that I can actually simulate what we are trying to do? Right. So we first of all, what we need to do is we have to create the browser instance, right? First of all. So let me get rid of all this junk printing stuff from here so that my class is nice and clean. Okay. Now the good and bad thing, I guess, just like any programming in the Java, if you want to refer to certain libraries, you have to import it. Just like in C#, you have to do the similar things, import it. So here you will have to do the same type of things. Here you have to use require and say what library you want to use first, okay, in your class file. So it will refer to the gem library called Water. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, second thing that we talked about, right? So I'll go back all the way here, and we'll find that syntax here. You don't have to write everything manually; it's already there. So let's say I want to use the Chrome browser, right? So I'll just copy this syntax from here. Right? If you don't want to type it in, just being lazy, just copy that from there. So when I say visit Bing page, I need to have a browser instance created, and I will say go to command over there so that I can at least open the browser and go there. Now I can put this command here, this line here. Okay. By the way, what will happen if I do that? Can I refer this in any other method? Right? I need to have an instance variable. Okay. We talked about instance variable that you can refer from anywhere in the class. Remember? So I need to mark this guy as an instance variable like that. Okay. So that now I can refer anywhere in the class. Second thing, I can put it here or I can put it in the initialize method. That's where your initialize method comes in. Okay. You can start organizing your code. All the browser instance creation will be part of your initialize method. Okay. So initialize, and then I can put that command there. So I just added one more method called initialize, which is my constructor method. So as soon as I say Bing search.new, this method will be called automatically, and it will create a browser instance for me. Okay. So once I have a browser instance, then I can just start executing command .go to, and here I can say http www.bing.com, right? Then I need to say what here. What am I looking at when I say enter search criteria? Right? So I need to get a handle on the ID of that control. So if I go back to the Bing page here, I'm here. I'm trying to enter my search criteria here, right? Something like that. So I'll right click on it, say inspect, and let's find our ID. So I have this guy. Okay, my ID is this one, and it's an input type. Basically, it's a text box. So I know it's a text box field. So what what do I need to use? It's a text box. So I can use text underscore field, right? So if I go back here for dealing with the text boxes, this is the syntax, right? So b dot text field here at b, that's our variable dot text field, and then I have to follow the syntax IDE. You have to say it like this. What is my ID? And there I'm going to copy whatever I found on the page. Okay. Now what else I need to do? I need to supply the set because I'm setting the value of the browser. Okay. Dot set. And now what I'm setting the value here. Remember where this search text, I want to come that from my acceptance test. So this argument will contain whatever the value is there, right? So I'll just say search text here. So that part, you guys are with me, right? Yeah. So I'm hooking up, inputting that value over there. Okay. So I'm done with that step, and let's say let's hold up on the verification portion. Okay. We'll hold up. But what am I missing here? When I say enter search criteria, is it gonna search for me? No. Right? It's not gonna search for me because I just type it in. That doesn't mean I'm gonna find the results. I have to actually click on this button. So when you write your acceptance test, it may or may not include all the steps, okay? Because you are writing from the user standpoint. So here, when you are actually building out the actual code, you have to click on this as part of your step, okay? So let's go and find this guy, see what this is. Okay, so it's an input, so it's a button, and we'll get the ID then. Okay, so it has this ID, and we'll go back here in the same line. So I'm just pasting the ID for now, and you can go back to the button here, and we'll just steal the button code here. Oh yeah, this guy. All right. When you are starting out, this is how you can do it. Okay, you don't have to be anything fancy. So I'm going to replace this one, and I'll put at B over there. Okay. So now I have everything there. I don't have verification yet. Okay, but let me see how it runs, right? So I'm going to go and execute my Bing search feature just to make sure everything is hooked up properly for now. Okay, now I'm seeing the browser window at least, so it's a good thing. But let's see if it really goes and does what I need to do. Okay, so it actually clicked on it, search on it, and pass through. Now again, we haven't put the verification steps here. Okay, so that's why it's still passing without verifying anything. Right? So it's a few lines of code now. I mean, we are not putting like too heavy code here. It's just few things here or there, and yep, my test looks like I can automate this thing now. All right, so let's see, work on the verification portion.
So we did not put here what we will be searching here.
No, we already have it
from the
acceptance test. Remember, if I go and change here, now let's say I say Ruby Cucumber in Columbus, right? Instead of Columbus, Ohio, or something like that, and I can run it, and it will have different things over there. I can run as many times as I need without changing much other than acceptance test. So it will start working now. I'll see Ruby Cucumber training in Columbus, right? That's what it will pass through, and it will run it through.
We are doing in the class file.
Yes, that's correct.
So and the step definition stays the same.
Right now, step definition stays the same, but I'll tell you where we want to change it. Okay, because of the verification is very important for us. That's where right now it's still passing here. Okay? All right. So if I change to Intellic software, whatever, I mistype it, right? Because I know it's a bad data, and I run it here. Let's see what happens. It's still gonna pass me, right?
Oh yeah.
Because we haven't put the verification yet. That's very important. Verification step. Okay. So let's go back and put the verification. So here we need to check something on the browser window. So if I go back here, let's actually put in Ruby Cucumber. So I'm seeing the IntelliX software here. Okay, this is part, and that's why it will say passed or failed, and I'm expecting it to see it right on the first page here. Okay. So how do I tell the browser? So there are some built-in mechanism that you can specify. So I can say b dot text dot include. Okay, does it include whatever result text that we are looking for? Okay, so here I'm going to put this command, use this one, d.text, any text in the browser result. Does it include IntelliX software? Basically, that's what this means, right? Okay. So, and what is this command? This is a shorthand for true or false. Okay, so it will return true. If it's include, then it will return true. Otherwise, the function will return false. Okay, that's what it is.
And the B, like B, what that is just.
That is a browser instance. That is just a browser instance. Remember,
so we can change it, or it's
now you can change it because you created a B browser instance here object here instance.
So it could be anything.
It can be B A.
Oh,
You can want to put it variable. It's a variable name. It can be any name, right? But make sure you use the same name throughout. If you have the same name, then just use it.
So the text result text, right? Is it
Yeah.
on the step definition?
This is on the acceptance test. Remember, this is what we are trying to verify.
Yeah.
Right? Because this one flows to the step definition here, right? We come here. This comes as a here comes as an argument, right? The same thing, and then we pass it to the object, right? So that's where we come here and try to verify. Okay, does the browser result includes this text or not? If it includes, then this is for true or false type of symbol. Okay, it will return true if it includes. Otherwise, it will return false. Now, if I run this test again, okay, are you expecting to pass or fail?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens.
No. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who is voting for pass? See, only me. It still passed, right?
But it's because the spelling of the software thing was wrong, so why did it still pass?
So why still pass, right? The good question, and that is important question actually. Why it still pass? So our search class doesn't do any verification technically. Okay, you have to build the verification. All this method does is it returns true or false. That's all. But in the step definition, which is really Cucumber framework, that's where you need to validate whether it's supposed to return true or false in the step definition. So that's where you have to go and change your step definition. And I'll tell you what we are changing here. So I'll go back to the Bing steps. Okay, this line has a value of true or false right now. Okay, so I have to change it to verify something here. So I can say dot should equals true. Okay, because I'm expecting it to be true. The text is present. So whatever this method call is, whatever the value is, I'm expecting to be true. If the condition is met, then only it will pass. Otherwise, it will fail your scenario. You have to put that in your step definition because of the Cucumber framework, the way it works. Okay, the verification has to be here, not on the other place, because the class is outside the Cucumber framework. So if I go and run this guy now hopefully I can see it's being passed or failed now, because I'm building those things, right? So now I started failing because it says got false. It gives you more information instead of using the true. Okay, so if I go and correct here, IntelliX software in search results, and if I run it, this time I'm expecting to be passed. Okay, because it's gonna find the text right within there. So now my scenario passed with all 3 steps passed, and my test is good at this point. So let's go back to the syntax. What we put in, right? It's a very simple syntax, right? So whatever the result, we are putting dot should equals true or false, whatever you are expecting. Okay, so that's what we are building as part of all the automation tests. You have to put the verification step in the step definition. Got it?
If I expect not to see it, I should put false, right?
Yeah, if you are expecting something else, or maybe you are looking for some other text, your method returns the text and you validate against the text. But here, our method returns true or false.
Okay, so passing or framing means in step definitions, all
Yeah.
step should return.
No, step definition only calls your object method, right? But this method is the one actually returns true or false from there. And then we are comparing, should it be
True.
true or false? What are the
If
values?
there is no should, it will pass, right?
No, well, if you don't have this line, it's always gonna pass because there is no comparison. There is
no
nothing to fail.
There is no validation.
There is no validation. So it will keep on passing. But this is what makes pass or fail. Okay. Now, if your method here, right, if it returns some type of text here, right, you could return some text here, okay, but then you have to do more comparison in the step definition. But typically, you will return some type of true or false from the verification step in the method, so that you can simplify these things. Okay. All right. So, you guys want to work on it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's work through this example.